Have you ever sat down one day and you said, man, I wish I could get one good pot of soup right now? That was me. So I had to go out and buy these ingredients to make some Jamaican style soup. So come with me as I show you guys how I did it. Hey guys, so today we're going to make some vegetable chicken soup, Jamaican style, but with a little twist to it. Alright guys, so first you want to chop up your seasonings, your fresh seasonings. So here I have some white onion, well yellow onion, chopping it up, dicing up really small. So when it comes to making, well, for us as Jamaicans, when we're making our soup, we like to really season it well. And so first I'm going to chop up some onions and chop up some garlic. And I'm going to let this boil out for a long time before I add anything else to it. So basically, you know, have you ever, for those Jamaicans out there, right? You remember growing up, Saturdays was soup days and Sundays was rice and peas and chicken, maybe baked chicken or curry goat or something like that. So making this soup actually take me back to my childhood, you know, growing up and watching my parents making soup. So it's either red pea soup, chicken foot soup, vegetable soup, you know, callaloo soup, goat head soup, manish water, whatever it is, right? We'll make these different soups on a Saturday. And you know, I enjoy making it actually, you know, and this is a nice meal. It's a one pot meal. What it lasts you it lasts you a couple of days depending on the amount you're making and for how many people. So I mean, I enjoy soup, you know. I don't make it often, but I do enjoy it. So here I am, I'm chopping up some garlic. All right, garlic is so great also, you know, it's antibacterial, antifungal. It has a lot of good nutrients to it. It has something called allicin, which is amazing, has an antioxidant. So it's really good to add garlic to your meals. And believe it or not, guys, you're gonna see that later on when I'm seasoning what I'm adding to my soup as well. Even though I'm having fresh garlic in my soup, right, I'm still gonna be adding all the seasonings to my soup as well. So here I'm chopping it up. I'm chopping up some garlic, okay, and also, you know, you don't have to add garlic if you're a person that don't like chopping up fresh garlic. You can use garlic powder if you want, if you don't want to use fresh garlic. So here I am chopping it up, guys. You know, I do enjoy cooking. Sometimes I don't do it every day because what I do, I try to make enough to last me a couple of days. And you know, and sometimes it's not in the mood. So here I am, I'm going to do some cut up some 3 carrots, okay. So 2 I'm gonna chop up really small, and then 1 of them I'm leaving aside, okay. You're gonna see a little bit later what I'm gonna do with that 1 that I left aside, but 2 of them I'm gonna try to dice them really small and cut them up. So I'm gonna be adding this as well into the pot with the onion and the garlic as well, because this is what's one of the vegetables that's going to be giving the soup its color, okay. So no need to add these, you know, different packages to give the color, right? So add the carrots, and also I'm adding this pumpkin. Guys, I hate cutting this pumpkin, oh my god, but they didn't have the other one. This is the only one they had, so I had to go with this one. But I hate cutting this this pumpkin. The skin is so hard to get through, but anyway, I got through it. I'm cutting it through, I'm dicing them very small. I'm adding it to the pot as well. That will also have the onion and the garlic and the carrots, because this pumpkin is going to also give my soup the color that I want, the yellow color. So I'm dicing it very small, and I'm also leaving a piece aside as well that I'm going to use later on as well. So I'm not dicing up everything. I'm going to be using a piece of it later, and then I'm dicing up some now to put in my pot small, okay. So I'm going to be cooking this out with the other vegetables that are already in the pot, okay. So I'm dicing up pumpkin. Pumpkins are very healthy for you as well. They're great. You know, yellow vegetables are very good for the immune system as well, right? So it has antioxidants. And here I'm adding cho-cho. Jamaicans, we call it cho-cho. Other countries call it chayote. All right, so I'm peeling this, right? And I'm gonna be dicing this up as well. And some of it, half of it, I'm cutting it in half. I'm gonna put some aside and I'm dicing up some. Chayote actually can be eaten raw as well. So you can add this to a salad, it doesn't have to be cooked. But I grew up with cho-cho in my soup, you know, so I'm accustomed to having it in my soup. You know, it doesn't really have much flavor, but it just gives you that one thing to eat. And also, guys, guess what? I forgot to put celery. So I had to stop my chayote and here am I chopping up my celery. I'm not a big fan of celery, to be honest with you, but celery is excellent. Support your kidneys. It's very good. So for you who may have, you know, blood pressure issues or something like that, celery is awesome to consume, juice and all that. So here I diced up my celery and I put it in my soup. So I can eat it in soup, but I really don't like it like before anything else. Like I like putting it in soup. So I'm adding some water. All right, I'm adding about 2 bottles of water. I don't use tap, guys. I use filtered water, and I'm setting my stove to like about number 6, depending on this. I have electric stove, so I have to set it to a certain, you know, number. And then here I am. I'm going to be now finished cutting up my cho-cho, aka chayote. So now I'm preparing my vegetables for when my soup is cooked, or should I say when my seasonings and my soup is cooked. Okay, so here I'm adding up the diced up cho-cho, okay, or chayote. I'm adding it now. Okay, so I'm adding it to the pumpkin and the carrots and the onion, and then I'm just now cutting up the rest to put aside, and then I'm putting some yellow yam in there. So I'm dicing that up. Okay, put it in a pan by itself, which I'm going to put in the pot later on. I have to wait for everything to boil up first because I want my color to change. So here, my soup color to change. So here, guys, I'm adding water to yellow yam. So in order to keep it from browning, changing color by the air, you want to add water to it to keep it from browning. Okay, so that's a little kitchen tip. Here, I'm going to put some corn, just peel some corn. Guys, it fell, so I had to pick it up, wash it. And do you know that the hair that's on the corn silk is considered it's called corn silk. It's actually good for your kidneys, so you can actually boil that part as a tea, but most of us throw it out anyway. So I cut up my corn, put it in a bowl, just clean it up a little bit. So here, you remember that carrot I put aside and that pumpkin I put aside. So here I'm dicing up a very rough chop, and then I'm just gonna put it in that bowl, basically to put in later into the rest of my soup. All right, so I'm also putting water. Now it's time to make dumplings, guys. I love dumplings. So I'm using some unbleached flour, put a little bit of sea salt. That's pretty much all you need. You don't need anything else. Some of us Jamaicans add a little bit of cornmeal in there. Okay, I'm just adding some water and just making the dough. And I'm just making my dumplings. So I'm just kneading it, putting it together. Guys, I remember learning how to make dumpling. It was trial and error, just growing up. And I used to watch my mom, watch my dad making dumpling. I never used to like how my dad made dumplings. It was too tough. But my mom, oh my God, my mom makes some bomb dumplings, like boiled, fried dumpling, man. But anyway, so it took me a while to get, to know how to make dumplings growing up. But now I'm good with it. So I'm making dumplings, and I always love dumplings in my soup, guys. Boiled dumplings, it's delicious. All right, so here I'm kneading my dumplings. I'm just making a little bit, not making much, so I'm just gonna kneading it into circles, into balls, and then flatten it out. And then also I'm gonna be putting a little bit, making spinners, like making some tiny ones, like cylindrical shape, like where you see there. We call it spinners. Okay, so we have like a medium size, and then we have the spinners there. All right, so here I'm checking my pot. Okay, I'm checking to see how it's going. So here I am, see the pumpkin, I'm crushing the pumpkin a little bit because I want it to color. I'm trying to rush it a little bit, but I'm crushing my pumpkin here, and you're gonna see later that the color is gonna be a nice yellow color, right? Because of the pumpkin and the carrots that are in there giving it the color. All right, so here I am. So the soup got to where I want it to be, so I'm adding now the rest of my food, or we say our ground provision. So the yam, the cho-cho, the dumpling, the corn. You can add potatoes as well if you want, to this. You can add plantain, like ripe plantain if you want, to this as well. All right, so this is what I have here. So now I'm just stirring up my pot, and now I'm just gonna let it cook, guys. So this is gonna cook for me in about maybe 40 minutes, and this is a good time to season your pot. All right, you wanna season your pot at this point because now you want all the food to absorb all the seasoning. So I'm using all-purpose seasoning. I'm putting sea salt. Believe it or not, guys, sea salt is not like regular salt, so you have to put a really good amount. And you just put some amount now, and then later you try your pot, see how it tastes. But here I am seasoning. I'm adding my garlic powder. See, remember I added fresh garlic, but I'm also adding garlic powder as well. All right, then I'm gonna add some chili pepper. I'm adding some cayenne pepper. Actually, no, not chili, sorry, paprika, because I don't like chili. Paprika. Paprika is not spicy. It's not peppery. And also I'm adding cayenne pepper to this as well. And then you can add any other seasons that you like. You can add black pepper. You could add a little bit of turmeric actually to also help give it the color. You can add your seasonings to there, right? So you just want to add, you know, your flavors, you know, put your flavors together, put your seasonings together so you can have a nice soup. And I really like a well-seasoned pot of soup, okay? So here I'm using some garlic salt as well, all right? So this is going to be boiling for about maybe 30 minutes or so, 30 to 45 minutes until everything is cooked, till the yam is cooked, you know, the dumpling is cooked and everything. And also a good way to test this pot too is when the cho-cho starts to become transparent. That's how you know the pot is almost ready, okay? And I'm here adding some fresh thyme, well, like dried thyme, okay? And then I'm adding some scallion, or also known as green onion. So that also going to add flavor to the pot as well. So I'm crushing it to kind of make sure I get all the flavor. The flavors will basically be easy to come out in the pot, right? Sometimes we just take a bottle and we beat it, you know, beat it. But here the next one, I decide, and here's pimento, also known as allspice, that also add flavors to the soup as well. And you can add allspice to anything you're seasoning. If you're cooking meat or you're making rice, you can add allspice to it. Here I'm adding another stick of or sprig of green onion. I'm beating it with a spoon instead of crushing it with my hand. I'm beating it with a spoon to kind of loosen it up so the flavors can come out of it, right? The benefits, the nutrients that's in the scallion can come out in the soup. And then I'm adding scotch bonnet pepper to top it off, just to add some flavor to it. All right, so this is going to be sitting here, guys, and boiling, cooking for, like I said, 30 to 45 minutes. And man, look at that. Only if you guys can smell how this smells right now. It smells so good. And you see the colors changing, guys, because the pumpkin and the carrots boiled for a long time and it's giving the color. So girl, guy, you don't need bouillon. You don't need these packets of stuff that's filled with MSG and all these chemicals and colorings that they put in these things. You don't need it. You just, yes, you're gonna have to add extra seasonings to your pot, like maybe extra little bit of sea salt, extra, you know, all-purpose seasoning, those type of thing. But it's okay. At least this is this is healthier for you. Those packets are not good. The monosodium glutamate is chemical. It actually can create blood pressure for you and cause all kind of other issues. It can also create headaches, all that. You don't need that. You can just make your soup without the bouillons. You don't need it. You don't need those Maggi cubes. You don't need all those, okay? Just season your pot really well and it will turn out just as well, okay? If you're a person that like noodles in your soup, you can just get like some fresh noodles without in that packet. Just get like little noodles, thin noodles, like maybe you can get some rice noodles, chop it up and just add it to your soup if you want, you know, like a vegetable noodle soup. So this is my Jamaican style vegetable noodle soup without the chicken. I know earlier I said I'm making vegetable chicken soup, but it's without the chicken, okay? I didn't want chicken, I just wanted all vegetables. Guys, look at that. Oh my God, if you could smell that. It smells delicious. Now it's time to plate. It's time to eat. It's time to chop. All right, guys, so here I'm dishing it out, so I want to make sure I get a piece of everything in there. And there goes my scallion. So you can actually take out, once everything is cooked, you can take out the scallion, you can take out the thyme, you can take out the pepper. It's not needed anymore. It actually flavored the pot, so you don't need it. And you don't want that pepper to burst in your pot, guys. Then you're going to have a pot of pepper. Okay, unless you're a person that don't mind pepper, but someone like me that don't like stuff to be peppery, I have to take out my pepper right away. So I want to get a little bit of everything in my bowl. So a little bit of corn, a little bit of yam, a little bit of, gotta get my dumpling. Okay, a little bit of cho-cho, pumpkin, carrots, a little bit of everything pretty much. Okay, and then I'm just gonna pour. All right guys, so I'm gonna taste the soup. Get my first bite. I'll try a piece of the yam first. Because sometimes you never know if you're getting a good piece of yam until you taste it. Cook it and taste it. Ooh, a little spicy. I think I put a little bit too much cayenne pepper in there, but because spicy is not my thing. I like my stuff well seasoned but not spicy. But yeah, this is good. If you're having like a cold, and listen, this is the time to make soup during the winter time. Or if you're having a cold or something, this is a very good soup to make because of the onions and the garlic and the thyme and all those things that's good for your immune system. All right, so I'm taking a couple bites of my carrot. Try the dumpling. Guys, I love dumpling. Oh my God. This is like my childhood. Grew up on these things. So good. Take a little bit of the soup. And this is the cho-cho or chayote. You see it looks more like transparent once it's cooked. Anyway guys, I'm gonna go finish my meal, my dinner. And thank you for watching. I hope you guys learned how to make some vegetable soup Jamaican style without the maggot cubes, without those MSG containing cubes. Okay, and follow, subscribe, hit the like button, and you never know what I'll be making next. Have a good one guys. Take care. Bye-bye.